I had a chance to check out the historic Second Ward area of Houston, Texas, while I was in town, and also had a chance to play music at the Movable Festival that was happening across town at Kojak's. The Second Ward area of Houston goes all the way back to the 1840s, when it was one of the 4 original neighborhoods that were designated in the city. And the Second Ward is arguably the oldest part of Houston, so it's very historically significant and culturally interesting. It's located just east of downtown Houston and south of the Buffalo Bayou River, and there really is a feeling that that muddy, swampy wilderness of the river made an impact on the people here. The Second Ward also goes by the name Segundo Barrio because today it's mostly Hispanic here, and it's actually one of the oldest Hispanic neighborhoods within a big city that's not by the border in Texas. The area was also one of the first Jewish American barrios in America, but the original settlers of the area were German Americans all the way up until World War II, when it became more of a majority Hispanic neighborhood in the 1920s. When industrial work was really booming in Houston in the 1900s, a lot of the industrial buildings and work was happening over here. So you can see those buildings while you're driving around and walking around the area. Some of them appear abandoned, but some of them have been repurposed into lofts or areas for community and art. And a lot of the building construction here goes back to the 1920s, but there has been gentrification and redevelopment of the area in the past decade or two. So by the year 2006, you could see lofts and townhomes here for the first time. And a lot of that gentrification is happening because it is so close to downtown Houston. Although it does remain mostly Hispanic, it is quite diverse with a lot of the movement happening with many different cultures and new residents and different social economic backgrounds here. So the area that I'm showing is from a walk around Harrisburg Boulevard, which has a mixture of those older buildings as well as the modern looking buildings and apartments or lofts. There are a few places to find food around here, like there's a place called Champ Burger, which has been here since 1963, but I ended up finding some food at a Mexican restaurant called El Charro. In terms of live music, there's a brewery around here called Parts Brewing, and sometimes they'll have events with bands playing. Then there's a place called Neighbors that's advertising live jazz music. There's also a place that's walking distance around here called House of J. It's a DIY music and art venue for local and touring artists. It's got free entry, and it's got a review that notes that the garage leans like the Tower of Pisa. Moving beyond walking around this area, I have had a chance to see some live music at a few other places that are around here. One of them is White Swan Live, which goes back to 1937 and features a variety of local bands. Then there's Bohemeo's. They call themselves the East End's favorite spot for coffee, food, craft beer, live music, and local art. Then there's St. Bernard's Pub, which I recently discovered. It's a neighborhood bar, and they had Ralphie and the RCs playing some honky-tonk music there. But ultimately, we can move on over to the other side of town at Kojak's, where they had this 2-day-long event full of live music happening, and I was excited to be invited to play up there and be a part of this event as well.
Mighty Mississippi don't roll the way it used to roll. I don't go to the places I used to go, 'cause everything's changed and nothing's the same, and most things are forgotten. Everything's changed and nothing's the same, at least in this life I've been living.
Thanks for checking out this video. I'm posting all about touring around Texas and the music scene of Texas, as well as my own music here on my YouTube channel. You can click on my channel and check out those thumbnails and see which topics interest you. Give those videos a view, and thank you for giving this video a view.